And we're live.
Hello, everybody.
Does For the two of you, does it feel like does Monday still have Mondays? Like, do you still feel the Monday?
I do, because both my girls have Zoom class meetings back to back, and I don't get to spend all day playing Star Wars The Old Republic, so I'm very sad.
Yeah, like the trade-offs that we have to do.
Yeah, I know. Sunday is my Sunday is my Star Wars online game day. I'm like, don't bother mommy. I'm killing Imperials or I'm killing Republic, soldiers. Just leave mommy alone right now. Taking over the universe.
Ah,
Um, yeah, my unfortunately my Monday is on Sunday now.
Oh God.
Um, because I have to have the week of lessons ready for your daughters to go Monday morning, so I have to get it all ready on Sunday. And everyone's like, "Well, couldn't you do it Friday?" Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly.
they seriously underestimate the amount of energy that is lost by the time Friday afternoon arrives.
That's
Friday,
exactly it.
like I I have a celebration when I get out of bed. Like,
Uh-huh. I made it. I
yeah,
made
like
it.
yes, liberation. Now I'm gonna go sit on the couch and ponder my life for the next 2 hours.
Oh God. Do you guys ever feel like the weekend is too short? Like for what you had to do to earn the weekend, it's too short.
Yes,
Um,
usually.
Yeah. It feels hard. Honestly, it has felt harder since the lockdowns and schools have closed. It's people like, why don't you just sleep in? And I'm like, because if I don't get up by a certain time, I don't get breakfast. I don't get enough like buffer time before the girls come downstairs so I can actually be productive. It's not like I'm on vacation. It just everything feels 10 times harder and I hate it.
well, and like you, to some extent, you have like a new job
Yeah.
being the at-home coordinator, where you know before you got to say like, okay, go to school, and then you had some downtime.
Dan and I both I'm lucky I have a very good partner in Dan. Dan, like right now, he is kind of pseudo supervising the girls, and they are very independent, but they still need supervision because they're just gonna screw around if like they don't, if mommy and daddy aren't kind of there. And Dan is great about that. He really is fantastic. So it's not like I'm doing it all on my own, but we both are so tired at the end of the day because it's having an entirely new job, but it's also having your regular job constantly be interrupted by this or that or just
Well,
life in general.
and I definitely feel that the task switching is like it's so much more complicated. Like, if I was just a writer, it would be okay, switching between maybe some research, some
Mm-hmm.
writing, some getting more coffee, like maybe some editing. But now
Mm-hmm.
you're task switching between part-time teacher, part-time parent, part-time friend, part-time referee, part-time whatever. Like, how you keep your house running, I don't even understand, because I would just say for the last 3 months, like, if food falls on the floor, it stays there until someone else takes care of it. Like,
Well, it's really the one of the very good things that has come out of all this is I have really started to teach the girls how to do housework. Because before it was just easier for me to do it myself, but now I'm like, no, I
mm,
don't have the energy. So Rosalind learned how to vacuum. Cara learned how to clean the bathroom. They both are learning how to fold their own clothes. They both know how to put clothes in the washer and then put them in the dryer.
well, and the funny thing is like you're basically teaching them home ec, which is one of the most useful skills that no high school or middle school will ever teach them anymore.
Yeah.
Um, like every student should know how to check the balance on an ATM card, or how to do some laundry, or how to make a grocery list. Like
Mhm.
these super simple things that we take for granted, like it doesn't exist this way anymore. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I always say to, because I have younger siblings that, well, they're mostly adults, but I do have an adopted sister who is in elementary school. And it's like, whenever I'm like interacting with her, I'm like, if I had YouTube when I was your age, things would be a whole lot easier now because I would have everything at my fingertips. There's a tutorial for everything. And like the stuff that your parents don't teach you, you could just look it up. So it's like,
Yeah.
no, there's no excuse now to just be like, oh well.
did you guys see the dad YouTube?
No.
So it's a dad, and he is just doing dad things, and he's he has a YouTube channel, and it had 200 subscribers, and he's simply teaching his, I think, daughters how to do things around the house. And so some of it's simple, like here's how you use a drill, here's how you oil the hinge on a door, here, like really just basic things. And he had one video that went viral, and overnight he went to 1.8 million subscribers.
Holy crap, he needs to monetize that. Oh
And
my God.
and the video I watched of him is just him like breaking down crying, and he's like trying to help people because they're using him as a substitute dad. And like you read the comments and you're like, I love humanity right now. Like
Oh.
it is such a warm thing.
And I'm sitting over here going, he should make money. And you're like, oh, it's so lovely.
I mean, he could bankroll his college right now.
Yeah, once you get a certain number of views and subscribers, it's like any video you put out will make some sort of money. Hopefully.
Yeah. But no, I mean, that's a really good point. I mean, my first car, yeah, I didn't know what the check oil light was because nobody told me. And I didn't understand why my car started to like almost overheat when I would drive it. So I had to ask a friend of mine, and she's like, how long has that light been on? And I was like, I don't know. There's like, okay. So she like takes me to get my oil checked, and they were like, you were dry. You had no oil. And I was like, is that bad? I knew nothing. And I'm driving around with this car that's going to explode. And it's stuff like that. But it was like, that should have been taught to me. Like, I should have known not to do that, like basic stuff.
And like, I like the department I work in. We're the engineering technology department. And so we have a sister department, which is family consumer sciences. And between us, we have woodshop classes, we have CAD classes, graphic design. But on the other side, we also have foods 1, 2, 3, international foods. We have child care growth and development. And so like we still don't quite have home ec, which I still think is relevant, but we've now taken home ec and made it scientific.
Well, it was so gendered, if I could say that. Like for so long it was boys don't take home ec, they take shop.
So
which is so stupid.
One girl, our home ec has, or our child growth and development has one boy.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Like Dan changed just as many diapers as I did. He fixed just as many bottles. He was up just as often as I was with our oldest, who was colicky. Like, you got to know this crap if you're planning on having kids.
I just think practical skills should be its own class. And this is where I do promote homeschooling. I'm very pro homeschool. I think there is my only red flag against homeschooling is the socialization aspect. But if you can find ways around that, then you get shorter school day, because realistically you don't need a school day that long, and you get basic skills that every human should have.
Yeah.
Like, why do all my students go to Google? In the Google search bar, they type in Google to find the search browser to search for things. Like,
okay, my 10-year-old knows not to do, like, she knows how to search for things. She knows how to get to Google. Like,
my students still have issues.
oh my
with
God.
it. So
I remember I had to take a class in high school on how to search in a search engine. And it was like, here's the keywords, here's where you put, if you like, I don't follow it exactly, but it used to be like, here's how to put commas. Make sure you put the first keywords that you're most interested in at the beginning. And it's like, I usually find what I'm looking for. But like,
debate.
Don't know how to do that because they didn't take that class.
Yeah, well, and I was in debate, and that's how they taught you, like, when you had to do research for the briefs that you would make up for debate, they taught you how to do library research. And I'm talking like both, like, it was just starting to be computerized, but also like I learned how to work a card catalog. I learned how to work the microfiche, but I also learned how to research, like, at a college. How do you research a law library? I learned all of that my junior and senior year. I knew all of that by the time I graduated, which I think if I had gone to a regular ass college, that probably would have served me very well. But I also feel like that should be basic. Like, you should know how to do research, how to find things on the internet, and how to also, like, I also think that critically thinking about media and the things you find on the internet should also be taught, because you can't just take it and say, oh, this is true. Like, teach them how to critically think about this stuff.
I remember my science fair report getting dinged because I didn't have enough cross-referencing in my bibliography. Like, those random things, like, okay, I found a source that supported my statement, but does one really matter? Because you can find anything to support you. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I will be right back.
Okay.
1 second.
Farewell.
Hey, Remy, is WriterBot broken on Discord? Is that what I saw?
It's always broken. They're rewriting it.
Okay. I was like, did we break her? We broke the WriterBot.
Well, so originally, before COVID, it was only used in like a handful of servers. And now it's in, I think the last I looked, it was in 16,000 different servers.
Holy shit. And
so all those people are writing. You'll notice, like, at certain times of the night, it stops working.
So do we want to just do I've got a timer on my phone that we can use if we want to.
Yeah, I figure we can just do it manually. Ugh, I'm gonna have to math.
I know, I hate it. Well, we have 2 minutes until 9:20, so we can go from 9:20 to 9:40.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
I am working on taking my serial and turning it into a novel.
That's going to be awesome.
Which is working out. So I'm taking it from first person and making it third person because I needed more latitude for world building. So it's a very close third person, and there's, as of right now, only one point of view. And based on so far I've gotten through the first 3 entries in the serial, which they're about 1,500 words, and I'm already at 10,000 words.
That's awesome.
And I'm liking this character so much more right now. I have done so much research into hair, because so my main character is black.
Mm-hmm.
And I want her to be I want her to be of course you want your characters to be authentic, but she's like, this takes place in like 200, 300 years in the future. I haven't really decided. So I need futuristic pieces, but I also need like common ground for people to approach from. And so I'm having so much fun researching Afrofuturism.
It's an exciting genre. It's a great genre to read, actually. There's some really good books in Afrofuturism.
And like originally I was thinking that this book was going to be a little bit more cyberpunky, and I do think Afrofuturism and cyberpunk have a really strong overlap in the Venn diagram. But reading more about Afrofuturism, like I'm kind of feeling like, oh, this might go a little bit different direction than I originally thought, and it's fascinating. And I could stare at artwork, Afrofuturism artwork.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, and the hair is one of the big pieces because they get really creative with it. And so, like, there's no water in my world, so like taking a shower is a kind of a deal.
Yeah.
And so all of that is playing into it, and it's the research for it is kind of fun. And
that's awesome. Good on you, man.
All right, so hop into a sprint.
All right, I'll see you in 20.
Time, I think, ish.
The honor system.
I had 571 words.
Woohoo!
Oh my gosh,
751.
you beat me this time because I'm distracted.
Mwahaha. I take screenshots of the bot event update every time I beat Franklin.
Do you really?
There's like 2, so there's not many.
Is there a way? So with the event, do we just? What do we do with that in the Discord? Is that even still working?
No, it won't be working at the moment.
Okay.
But the way it's set up is every sprint goes towards your event, and either Jill or I reset the event every day.
Okay.
And if there are no sprints that are happening and you still want your words to count, you can just do event update, and it'll update for the event instead of the individual sprint.
Got it. Oh yeah, I see it. The bot isn't even like. I just did it with like the exclamation point in the front. It's not doing it. All right. I need to go to the restroom really quickly. I'll be right back, guys.
Okie dokie. Yeah, I was just reading in the bot Discord. They're like, it's broken. Apparently, writers can't write if the bot's not working.
You can totally write. You just have to do it.
I find it so funny that like we become so dependent on this one thing to count our words.
Well, I used to get frustrated when like NaNoWriMo was done, and I'd be like, oh, I really miss entering in my daily word count and seeing the graph update and like the estimations of if you continue, this will be your end date.
So the superhero group has a daily word count update if you want it.
Ooh.
Trying to think of where it is. I can. There you go. That's how I know I broke 200,000 words this year.
Oh my gosh.
You must be up there.
I'd have to go back. I had a notebook that I was using from January where I was like trying to write down how much I did.
Because you have quite a few days where you hit like 4,000 or 5,000.
Yeah, and it's getting nicer because I'm trying to seriously use dictation now to give me an excuse to go out for a walk.
Okay.
And I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with it, but it's so like it's different.
Are you because you're using just the built-in dictation software, right?
I am using I'm recording it with Voice Memo, and then I'm using like an app that I found that you just drag and drop your audio file and it will like do it for you. But it uses the Apple update.
So I have Dragon and it works really, really well. On my phone, I have I don't even know what it's called. Voice Record, and I have the free one, so I think it costs 99 cents if you want it. The problem is when I'm walking, I have a Flexi mic, which is like a really great condenser mic. The problem with it is it's still like if a car drives by, it really picks it up.
Yeah.
And you know, every time a car goes by, like the accuracy goes down to like 5%. And you're like, I don't remember what I said for that whole paragraph.
Yeah, because you're just pausing to let the vehicles go by.
It was really bad when I used to go walk in the park because there would be so many other people walking and talking that occasionally other people's conversations would feed into it. And I'm like, what happened here? Oh, it's trying to dictate 3 different voices.
Yeah, that happened to me one time last week where I got to like the middle of a session and then it started saying like, "Hey, can I yada yada?" And I'm like, "What? I didn't say any of this." And I was like, "Oh, I probably that was when I was walking by the community center. Whoops." So far, so good though. It's better than uh, nothing really. So
The I would like to go back to dictation because sometimes just sitting at the desk for a long period of time, you're just like, I just need to get up and move.
mhm.
Um, so I feel like even if it's not working on my novel, like if I'm dictating, you know, like a newsletter or even Facebook posts for that matter, um, just something else to make the brain shift a little.
Yeah, I feel like moving around because I have Dragon for the desktop and it's like I can't look at the screen. It
Mhm.
messes me up. But like if I'm just walking around and I'm not really paying attention and it flows more naturally because I'm paying attention to the scenery around me instead of like, oh no, that isn't worded correctly. Like I can always go back and fix that later, but
I kind of treat your dictation like your first draft, and then when you put it onto the computer and you go through and you check it, I mean that's your second draft right there.
mhm.
Um, and I have to do mine relatively quickly because otherwise I completely have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, if you leave a story for too long, it's like, oh, you can't really have like months in between because then I have to reread the entire thing.
And sometimes I even think of like, I just want to lay down on, I have a futon in my office and I just want to lay down and just speak and have things happen. And I
Mhm.
don't want to think about it. Just want to watch the movie in my head and talk about it.
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of writers in the old days that had like a secretary that would just type it for them while they talked. So I feel like we just replace the secretary with our iPhones.
No, damn it. I want an actual secretary in my office. Madam,
That'd be
record
hilarious.
this scene.
What?
We're talking about dictation.
Oh,
I don't want Dragon. I want an actual human in my office where I can just lay down and have them record my thoughts.
yes, absolutely. But that's called a therapist.
Yeah, and
They're just gonna program these dictation apps so that it's like, oh, it'll periodically do what Alexa does, where it's like, I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. You're a genius. Great
Yeah.
job. Like,
oh my
Exactly.
God. Can I just say the other day, just out of nowhere, my Alexa pops on and she just goes, "You're good enough." And I'm like,
I noticed it started to sound a lot more personal when it like
Wow,
recommends things to me, and I'm like, wow, they're really going all out.
well,
that's amazing.
I didn't know if I should be insulted or not. Like, you didn't say like "good job." You said "you're good enough." Like, did
Well,
Alexa hand me a backhanded compliment?
no, she's just doing all Stuart Smalley.
Sir, you're having a mediocre day.
And that's okay. It's
You
good
know
enough.
what? Your life could be worse.
Could be worse, could be raining.
I feel like there are just positive affirmations that it's giving me because, like, sir, we've looked at your order history. You need to seek help.
Oh, so good.
All right, when's our next When are we doing this next? Sorry if
Um,
everybody can hear that.
let's do 12:55. Let's just do weird times at this point.
Okay, let's
Word to
do it.
word. Oh, wait. I forgot to save that.
Coolness. This one will be my final one before I jump off to go troubleshoot a computer.
Go back
I
to
should-
your actual job.
I should probably also go after this because it'll be about the time when I need to have my door open in case my youngest needs help with schoolwork.
I'm technically working. I just
I'm still going to be.
while talking to you guys.
I'm still going to be revising. Oh my god, I have so much to do on this book. Oh.
I keep saying I need a new book one, and I have a book one. I just need to edit it so it can go to an editor. So, like, the only thing stopping me right now is me.
Yeah. I need to there's some upfront scenes I have to insert, like write and drastically rewrite in order for the rest of the book to make sense how I'm rewriting the existing scene. So that's pretty much where I'm at. And I'm trying to get to the midpoint by the end of the week. That's my goal.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if it happens. And I have a short story I promised my subscribers it's not done yet, which is fine. I know exactly how it's going to go. It's just a matter of actually doing it.
I have 131 pages printed up that
Damn.
I can edit pretty quickly on some of it because I think it's a pretty clean draft, but I know for a fact that there is more history elements that need to go in, and the romance subplot needs to be given some more breathing room. So work.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I can write new words and enjoy my new world.
Oh my god, I have like 2 new series bouncing around in my head. I'm like, no, I have to finish this book 2. I have to start the book 3 because if I don't have book 3 done, like within a few months of book 2, my readers are going to straight up murder me. Because book 2 ends on a bit of a cliffhanger. And I'm just like,
yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. I'm looking at my read through rate from book 1 to book 2, and it's really low. Like, I'm getting good everything on book 1, but it ends so nicely wrapped up that you can end the story. So
that's the most difficult part, because it's
Yeah.
like people complain about cliffhangers, but then you're like, well, you're not reading any of my other stuff. So the only way to force you to do this, leave stuff open-ended and force you to go to the next one.
Exactly.
So I think what I'm going to do my goal this week is to pull the epilogue out and retool the epilogue, because the story still wraps up very neatly, but I need the primary villain comes back. Like it's only a defeated for now moment.
Got it.
And right now it looks like, oh, there's no point in reading on because they do everything short of a group hug at the end. I mean, there might actually be a group hug. I don't know. So I really want to retool that so that it's cliffhangery.
Yeah.
So screw people who say don't like it.
All right.
All right.
My clock says it's time. It's time to do it. See you guys in 20.
All right.
And that's time, folks.
Oh,
Where's my... There it is.
oh boy. How much? I keep track of all this now. 737 words.
So 638 for this, for a total of 1389.
Nice. Not bad.
I hear a challenge in there. Franklin's like, not bad, but I will. Go ahead.
That's more than I did with Mind Combined. Mind Combined was 1,182, so I'm slacking off.
You almost got me though. That was close. What about you, Remy? I think your mic is muted. You're muted.
Oh, it would also help if I unmute. I had 571 again, exactly.
Damn. That's some unique symmetry.
So 1142 for the total.
Okay.
I'll call that a win for so far today.
Yeah.
Anything over 1,000 is like good. And you can say you're in the thousand per day club. Or whatever it is.
I want to do another 2,380 today.
You can do it.
You can. You got this.
Which it'll happen. You just have to break it up.
Should try doing some like 10-minute ones so that way it's like even more pressure to not pause.
That's a good idea. I have to finish this chapter and then try to move on to the next one.
Oh, Tammy has slid into the chat. Because I am rewriting, I definitely have to pause and be like, what was the next thing supposed to be about? Well, that no longer works in this. Oh, crap. I already created an issue.
I am plugging plot holes and really being like, okay, am I creating another plot hole or a series of plot holes by doing it this way? I have no idea. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just like, you know what? Just go through, rewrite it the way that I know it needs to be rewritten, and then I will go back and I will add things. You know, it's how I do it. I layer it all in.
So my favorite thing was when I wrote Suburban Zombie High, someone was like, you do know that all these teenagers would have phones and they could just call their parents for help, right? And so I was like, good point. So in the dialogue, she's like, quick, I need your phone. And she hands it to her and she's like, what do you mean no signal? We're on top of the school. And she goes, oh, I have Sprint. And everyone just silently nods as it explains everything. And then they're stuck in the school for 48 hours and none of their parents have come to help them. And so I wrote in that there was a Groupon for a 5-day cruise that all their parents went on. When you're writing humor, like you just find the most ridiculous explanation and go with it.
I love it. It's like such dark humor, and it's like we all get it because these are things that we would just do. And
throughout the whole book, every time like they come to like a zombie, I don't know what to do, the main character goes, guys, you know, she pulls out the guide to zombies and she's like, it's right here. And they're like, that can't possibly be the answer. And constantly throughout the book, she's just like, it's not even worth telling you I told you so anymore.
Yeah. I did tell Dan, I was like, I would be the one person in the zombie apocalypse who was like, we have a bus, drive the bus over the zombies, just keep driving. And everybody'd be like, no, we need to get out of the bus and fight. And then I'd be the one that would get bitten and die and then come back and kill all of them because I'd be so pissed.
You actually can't use a bus because of the wheel wells. And after running over so many people, the zombies would actually clog up the wheel wells and shred the tires. Not that I've read books that explain this.
Oh my God.
You need a vehicle with a high clearance and a low wheel well.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Or like spikes out in front. You could just impale them, and then every few miles you get out, you clean them off, and you keep going.
Well, that's what I like in the new season of Walking Dead. Like the zombies are coming to the front door, and they just stand there, and they're just like, "Poke, dead. We'll take care of you later. Poke, you're dead." And like, if you handle it in a slow, like they're out in the middle of the wild, so it's not like a huge horde is coming.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, Legends of Tomorrow had a zombie episode a couple weeks ago.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, and it's pretty funny actually. Because I'm sitting here, I'm like, you have a gun that shoots flames. Why are you punching the zombies? Use your freaking flame gun. And then a couple like frames later, he's finally got the flame gun, and I'm like, thank you.
So Max, whose last name is completely escaping me, who wrote the definitive guide to zombies, which you would think would be satirical, but it's legit. It's like a handbook.
Wow.
And so in the handbook, he is so adamant against zombies that run that it's just not a thing. And so my characters are constantly going like, oh, you don't have to worry about runners. It's not a real thing. She's like, yep, it's not a real thing. And all of a sudden you hear the swish of nylon as one of the track team has become a zombie.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
If you want stupid fun, my suburban zombie books are just the outlandish things that teens do. Oh, and they're zombies.
That sounds brilliant, actually. All right, I gotta get moving. I gotta open my door. I hear that.
We can go back to parenting.
I know, it's just kids.
They're so
needy. They're so needy. They want food. They want clothes. I mean, God.
Just have them fend for themselves.
Actually, I did tell my oldest, I'm like, all right, we need to talk about the kind of lunches that you can start making yourself for you and your sister. She's like, but, and I'm like, no buts. Daddy and I are tired of making all the meals in this house. I was like, you can make 2 meals a week. It's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
And I mean, a peanut butter sandwich, it's not that hard. Like, you can find an okay item.
She can use a butter knife. Like, so we're working on it. Anyway, have fun, you guys.
All right. And Franklin, you have to go too, don't you?
Yes, I'm going to go figure out what's going on. I have to troubleshoot with a coworker over the phone for one of these.
Oh, dear.
So I'm going to use the phone and be like, here you go. Let's figure out what we click.
Oh, my God.
All right. Well, I guess I'll let you guys go, and we will be back tomorrow for some more live sprinting.
Yes. And are we doing a sip and sprint this Thursday, or is it the watch party?
Watch party's on Friday.
Okay. So we are doing the sip and sprint. So if anybody wants to join us in the afternoon.
And then Friday night, we have a Netflix watch party for Zoom.
Which should be delightfully awful.
It's going to be so bad. I'm kind of looking forward to it.
So join us, everybody. It's fun,
all right.
We promise.
Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.